What's up, guys? Welcome to the second episode of Henri's Production Lab. And today we are going to discuss about the track Breathe, which is I received a lot of questions about this track, and by far one of my best tracks of 2020 in this case. And yeah, I'm going just to play the first part of the track, and then we just discuss about the secret behind the track. So
Breathe. Yeah.
So yeah, that's the part of the track. So if you want to listen more, so stream the shitload out of it. Um, so the secret one is basically this part, which is really recognizable. So it consists just one sound, and which is the first sound is it's been processed with a pedal board that Merow used in the bass shots, and the second one is pretty much a dry one with a little bit of a tweak on it. So this one is what she tweaked it on here on her pedal board, and this is the pedal board blended with the dry, and with a little bit of a treatment that sounds like this, and the original one sounds then like this. With a little bit of treatment, I used a frequency shifter, and I triggered this one on a minus 156 hertz, which is again the point frequencies of the key D sharp. So then you get again the bass line that really in sync with the exact frequency on the exact key. So which just sounds really dark, and it gives a little bit that low end that I'm looking for. A little bit of Saturn because just to drive it a little bit, nothing too crazy about, and Mackie Q4 just to gain the upper 10k frequencies because it sounds a little bit dull. So then you guys know what I'm talking about. And then the Brainworks that gives that really stereo winding. So set my tones a little bit more up to exact frequency like that. I believe it's a little bit to 100 hertz. And then just push the stereo expanding wide open. So then you get this, which is first, if you just mute the first part of the sound that without the stereo maker, it sounds really center, but because I just wide open it with the same tone or the frequency, then yeah, you guys know what I'm talking about. Basically gain just a 2 dB of the gain, and then we just layer it with the first sound, and now it kind of sounds too dull on the upper high frequencies, and I wanted to layer it with white noise, which is I made by in Citrus. It's basically just two kind of white noise, outface it, and then just become a little more gritty. So then you get kind of this. So if you guys don't know how to make it, there's a bunch of the video on YouTube. So how to make it, because I don't want to make it too long about the white noise, but I just took the rhythm out of it and then layer it on top of each other. So, and that's the main part of the intro, basically the bridge between the intro and the build-up. Then to the drop, I'm going to explain the plug, which is I already bounce it because there's a lot of plugins on top each other. So this is how the plug sounds like. Which again, I'm going just to explain you the second plug, which is really recognizable. So let me see. Going just to loop from here. Oh yeah, just for the record, because I've made this track on March, and in that day I still use Fruity Loops, and as you can see, it's still Fruity Loops 11, so I'm pretty much the old school one. But nowadays I'm producing on Studio One, just for in case that people wondering, dude, why do you use FL 11? I don't give a shit. So the original sound consists just a one shot of clap that sounds like this. Yeah, it's pretty lame, but I just put the clap into the granulizer, and that's where the real sound designs really began. So you can also like to tweak it how the way you like it. It's a bit of the hold open, then you kind of like getting a little bit more blocky, or just get the gain of the wave spacing a little bit. Just let me see if I just wide open it. Maybe some randomness if I just open it a little bit. So it sounds kind of like a green, kind of grindy somehow. So link that to the mixer, and there's a lot of effects in it, which is I'm just going to loop only that part. It's going to mute the plug a little bit, only the second, which is then again you can see consists a lot of effects, but I'm just going to show you the main part of the secret behind the plug. Can you read to the low end first? It's basically because of this. Oh, okay. The plugin doesn't answer. Going to mute the vocodecs first. It's just kind of too muddy in there, and the secret behind it is the vocodecs. So I just used two notes, which is the D sharp and the octave one. And the real cool thing is, if I use the vocodecs, it doesn't really matter how you want to place the notes on the clap. It's still on the same key based on the taste. So basically, on the first part, I just triggered on the same frequency. The same key. And then the second part of the drop, I just put it again up to the G sharp, which is again gives a little bit that 9 chords. So it just sounds pretty high, but still it triggers the key of the D sharp. And then because the sounds, it's kind of like too plucky and just doesn't sound that pretty that powerful in my opinion. I found the way to just to gain a little bit of the powerness of the plug, but still the peak is just kind of really tiny. So use the combination between Saturn and a wave shaper, Oh, there's OTT. I'm going to discuss that later. But again, just these combinations, the shotgun, what it does is just to flattening out the peaks, and then I adding the wave shaper, just basically doing this. It's kind of like compressions, like I said. So then again, the peak, it just turns down a bit. Mute this one. You can see from the peak on there. It really works as a compression, but again, with the use of the saturation and distortion at the same time. And then as a result, if I just link it to this one with a little bit of a treatment, again, I use a stereo maker at the end of the bus to widening a little bit. And then the dimension expander, again, this is one of the coolest trick, which is also free plugin that you can use. And then if I just mute the dimension expander, or maybe with the stereo maker, and then with the stereo maker and dimension expander. So now it sounds really wide, and now it sounds kind of like the plug of the breed. So that's basically the small secret of the breed on the leads. And which pretty cool thing is also in the break. I'm going to discuss this a little bit. It's pretty recognizable basically. So how do I get that reverb sound? So if I just play only the atmosphere. I use Valhalla Shimmer, which is I love it a lot. It gives that kind of a modulations, and it sounds really spacey, and it feels that it sounds really modulated and not clean basically. So the way I treat this Valhalla Shimmer is just to open the feedback a little bit, maybe to exaggerate at the end of the second break, and just see what the Valhalla Shimmer does if I just open the feedback a little bit. So yeah, that's the secret behind of the track Breathe. If you guys have any questions, throw it in the comments, and if you want to see more, let me know. And this is then my second episode of Henri's Production Lab. So peace out.